7 conifers a few years ago, and it took me a long time and a lot of sawing and a lot of hard work, a lot of digging. I remember I had an axe as well, a lot of chopping, and it took a long time. If you pull something out of your pocket, yeah, you take it out of your pocket. You can even fish it out of your pocket if you're doing it like that. It's like a fishing line then or something. But please remember that you can just say, in the end, he fished it out, or he fished it out of his pocket. So this of is up to you. It's if you want to make it transitive or intransitive. Do you want an object or not? Okay, die out and die off. Die out means go extinct. Die off, I would say, means gradually go extinct. So they are the same, but one is more gradual. That's how I would explain the difference between the two. So you might say that the tiger is gradually dying off. You can say gradually dying out as well, so I don't see much difference between the two. The difference is very subtle. Here, though, the difference is a little bit clearer. Dry out, dry up, and dry off. So dry out is when you just want to remove all of the water from something. So you leave your clothes on the washing line to dry out. And if your mobile phone falls down the toilet, you might put it in the, I don't know where you'll put it, you might put it in a packet of rice in order to dry out, because rice soaks up the water. Dry up can mean at least 3 different things. You can dry up when you're in the middle of a speech and you get too shy to say anything, or you're too nervous, too frightened, and you suddenly dry up and you're lost for words, you're speechless, you don't say anything. So it could mean that, but also money or resources can dry up. You can say the oil in this region has dried up, and then that means that there's no oil left. Anything which flows can dry up. A river can dry up as well, and that's the third meaning perhaps. You can say the river has dried up. But anything which flows can dry up. I mean, really, words coming out your mouth flow, and that's why we say dry up in the middle of a speech. But certainly resources flow out of the ground, so they can dry up. Even funding can dry up for a project. You can say, we've got no investors left, we can't find any more, we've run out of money, and our funding has dried up. So that means the flow of money is no longer forthcoming. Dry off, I think we very often use for when somebody comes out the swimming pool and then they sit in the sun to dry off, something like that. So it is also, you do also get a dry off. You might sit on the sunbed and dry off. Very often used for people, that one, dry off. Okay, if the lake freezes over, it becomes frozen on the top. But the opposite of become frozen would be thaw out. This is the opposite. If I want a beef burger, they're very often in my freezer, and I have to take them out early so that they will thaw out, or I can put them in the microwave so they will thaw out. And it just means become not frozen, become ordinary. And you could even use this about people. If you've been outside all day and it's been snowing, it's minus 15 degrees, you come inside and you try and thaw out. You try and warm up, right? You thaw out because you're so frozen all over. But that's more metaphorical. Usually you thaw out food when it's frozen so that you can cook it. Now, if you wash away stains, and that's a good word to remember here, because really, wash away is just get rid of stains when you wash clothes, or any kind of stains on a surface, on a kitchen surface as well. You could wash away the dirt. If the sky is overcast, it's cloudy. You very often get that one in the in weather vocabulary. And some more weather, the sun can go in, and it means hide behind one of the clouds. We also say that the clouds blot out the sun, or that it clouds over. So there are a few ways of putting this. On a cloudy day, the sun can go in, or the clouds can blot out the sun, or it can cloud over. The moon can go in as well, meaning go behind a cloud, and the stars can go in, meaning go behind a cloud. But they can also come out, meaning come out from behind the clouds. And so the sun can come out and it all gets nice and warm and hot and sunny. Flowers also come out in spring. They don't go in, but they do come out in spring. The tide, we have very strong tide in this area, and the tide goes out and comes in twice a day. We have high tide twice a day and low tide twice a day. This is when the sea, it's the Thames estuary here, it goes out a number of kilometres, at least 5 or 6 kilometres, and then it comes back in again. And so it's a massive effect, and we need these two phrasal verbs. The tide goes out and it comes in. Now, we've done these before. Eat, chip and wear away at mean erode. So you can say that my kids are eating away at my finances or my savings, or you can say the river has been eating away at the riverbed. There's all sorts of ways you can use these, but it means erode. And you can also use eat into, chip into, or wear into, meaning erode into. So you can certainly say the river has been eating into the riverbed. Okay, some interesting ones here. Flush out. If something is hiding in a hole, for example, like a rabbit, and you're a hunter, you need to flush that rabbit out. You need to get him out of his hiding place. The police can do this with a fugitive as well. If a fugitive is hiding, if the fugitive is holed up, which we're going to do in a second, in a hiding place, you need to flush that fugitive out. Maybe you use bombs, grenades, maybe you try and negotiate, who knows how, but you need to flush the criminal out. And criminals, fugitives, will try and hole up somewhere. And if you hole up somewhere, you get in a hiding place, like a building or a basement, could be anywhere really, it could be a place in the forest, but it's got to be a place which you can barricade yourself in. Because when you hole up, you defend yourself as well. You get safe in your particular base or area, and you make sure that if anyone comes to attack you, they will not be able to flush you out. So I've heard this on a number of TV shows recently. It might sound like a very rare phrasal verb, but it's not. It comes up in loads of criminal shows and TV shows, dramas. And so yeah, if somebody holds themselves up, they get themselves in the hiding place and they barricade themselves in. They hide away and barricade in. Now, the sun and the rain can both beat down on you. That might be quite surprising for many of you, but the sun and the rain can both beat down on you. And if they're beating down on you, then the sun is either very hot and it's making you really hot, or there's a load of rain, it's really heavy rain, there's a downpour. And you can say, this is a bit rude, piss it down, because piss is a rude word really. I know it's not in other languages, possibly, but in English, piss is a rude word, so I wouldn't use this in any kind of formal situation. But it's not the rudest of words, so I included it in this lesson anyway. But you can say it's pissing it down, it's chucking it down, it's pelting down. And pelt down would be without the it, and that's pretty important to remember. You can just say it's pelting down, it's pouring down as well. So pouring down is also possible, pour down. But yeah, you can say it's pelting down. Okay, if something freezes up or freezes over, it becomes frozen. You can also say freeze up for when a person freezes. They freeze up. They don't move, usually because they're frightened. So we'd use this one for fear, freeze up. A bit like dry up in the middle of a speech from fear or nervousness. But freeze over would be the river or the lake. Now, if somebody breezes into work, it just means that they come in a really relaxed, confident manner. They breeze into work and they're just really laid back and relaxed and confident. The point about breeze in is that you walk into a room or office with confidence. That's the point. You're really confident. And it's a bit like when you breeze through an exam, which is the same as sail through an exam. If you breeze through an interview or breeze through an exam, it was really easy. You were just really confident and it was easy. You got all the questions right. Okay, we've said that clouds can blot out the sun. It can cloud over, the sun can go in. But in other weather, when it's very cold, in your car, the windows might fog up, they might mist up, they might steam up, and that's when you can write your name in the window if you're like doing that kind of thing, and I think all little kids do. And so car windows, but I mean not just cars, office windows as well can fog up, can steam up. The shower, when you've got the shower on, the windows all mist up, of course. If you freeze someone out of a deal, then that means that you've got some kind of negotiation or deal going on, but you don't want one person to be included, and you freeze that